Okay. How's it going, everybody? Hey, I'm back with another stream. I'm doing these things a little bit more regularly, and a little bit more of I guess, a regular cadence. But just because of my busy schedule and whatnot, it's a little hard. But I keep saying, but I am going to be working on rebinding again today. So last time, I'm trying to remember what I did last time. Last time, we actually got rebinding in, and there was some rebinding happening. It was a little bit unreliable. I'll quickly show that right now. So as you can see, we have our rebind menu here, and then we have to wait for Unity. There we go. We have our rebind menu, and if I wanted to rebind the sprint button to be that apparently is my go-to. Now I is the sprint button. So that is working, which is awesome, but it's a little bit unreliable because when I go to zoom and I press like the Y button, it doesn't actually work, which makes sense because it's an axis and not just a button that you press. So if I, so like there's nothing that I can do right now that makes this work. And then also I had problems with controller stuff. So getting the controller to work with the system was a main problem, a source of issues. But I guess that was a quick recap. Wasn't necessarily a thing that I was planning on doing right then. Though I do want to have it so that I do want to have the rebinding stuff so that like all of that stuff works. And that's mainly the goal for today, is to get all that stuff to be a little bit more reliable, work with all the controllers and stuff. And then we can hopefully move on from doing the rebinding itself to doing the calibration stuff. So making changing the dead zones of things and whatnot. But yeah. And I also love how this is now like a proper series of me working on this. Though I am with regards to the things that I'm doing for work, and some of the stuff relying on the fact that I need to do things for work, I might need to start working on this stuff either for longer, which is a little harder, or offline when I have those times that are dedicated to working. That's kind of where I'm at, unfortunately, but hopefully I'll get most of the stuff in that we need in order to be able to be like, oh yeah, this is a more or less the complete system. So here we are. I am planning on, so like I said, I'm planning on trying to get more regular with these streams, and actually just do more content on YouTube regularly in general. I have a couple of things in the pipeline, a couple of things that are not YouTube related in the pipeline that are going to be being announced and released soon. So if y'all want to stick around on my social media things, that would be great. But yeah, just so look for any of those announcements relatively soon, I would say. But yes, let's get into doing rebinding. So here we are with the rebinding. So what I'm basically planning on doing today, like I said, I want to make this a bit more reliable. And then with that, I need to get the axis stuff working well. So like right now, the move horizontal axis, it doesn't actually show all of the things related to move horizontal and move vertical. That is a thing that I should probably change up. And then the other thing is the this here. This is an axis, just one axis as well. But the caveat here is that this is assigned to the mouse and not the keyboard, which is a problem. Because I need that to actually be, I need you to be able to fluidly choose between a mouse or keyboard for your controls if you have both assigned to you. So yeah, that's one of the things that I gotta figure out The other thing that I noticed is player one. Yeah, I want to assign these at start for now, because I remember we were testing some things out with the controller, but today I don't have my controller plugged in. At least not right now. Okay. All right, so here we are. Back again, trying to figure out all this controller stuff. So let's think. Let me think. The main thing that I got to do is I got to have it so that the axis things work. I want to see whether or not, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change how the rebind button actually chooses the controller that you are binding. So instead of trying to get the controller map, I think I'd say, yeah, I want to get the controller map of the thing that has already been bound. I want to get the controller that pressed the button. So current player, controller maps, get map with target. Yeah. How do I get the controller map? So let's see. I want to get the controller, current player, controller, last controller. I guess, yeah. So I can get the controller. Oh, controller. All right. Last controller dot map. Is it? I don't know if I can. I guess it would be current player. Controllers map. Whoops. Maps.get first element target action.id. I'm gonna don't skip those. There, that's the thing. That's what I need. Last controller. This is what I need to change. Okay, so I'm gonna move this up here, put this there. Let's make it so that there's a little bit more space. I guess I'll get rid of this. I'll just put last controller here. And now it should be basing all of the stuff off of the last controller rather than not. So there we go. I'm gonna go here. Okay. I don't know. Ooh, I don't know if that's gonna actually do exactly what I want, but we're gonna find out. This is all a learning experience. I kind of wish. Okay, so I'm using my mouse. Click. Couldn't find controller map with sprint because I don't have the thing. But if I click on this, it does work. And then if I, and then I can use this. Oh, right. Axis doesn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay. 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 All right. I think, all right. Do I want to get the first element with this action? Get element map. Element target map. Yeah, I guess I don't want to get based off of the first map with the target because you won't necessarily have the map associated with it. So I think the thing that I need is I just need to get the action, and then I have I guess I just have that stuff. What do I do here? Maps in category. Let's see. Okay, first let's do the get the first element with action. Let's just put that back. Let's think. So what I'm thinking is I want to be able to grab, or I want to get the controller map, right? And the thing about getting the controller map, or not the controller map, the map category, I guess. I want to get the map category, and then I want to get an action that's associated with said map category. The thing about that is that there is no, or those two things are technically divorced from each other. They are mutually exclusive, right? That is the right term, the terminology there. But one does not rely on the other. No, I guess it's not mutually exclusive. Anyway, one does not rely on the other, because you can theoretically have the like the jump and gameplay shared and on foot and on in the building. So like all of that stuff can have all of those things. I don't want that. What I do want is to be able to say like, okay, here is the current map category I am assigning, and here are the actions assigned or that you can bind to that map category. The only way in which I can think of being able to do that without, well, yeah, I gotta do that without much information other than, or I have to add more information. And that is something that I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want to add more information into the thing, but I think I might have to, in terms of like, I want to start rebinding this action. I also might need to say, I want to rebind this action category, or not action category, this map category. Okay. Because yeah, especially because it's not going to always be assigned. Like you could theoretically remove all of that information, like everything. I don't actually have this functionality in, but you could remove all of the bindings to things, which then when it's looking for it's the first action, it's just like, oh, there's nothing. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I need to associate gameplay shared with a certain thing, associate on foot with a certain thing. So we're gonna get action. Oh wait, is it map category? Can I get the action category of a target? Yeah, here, let's try target action dot category ID, action category that it belongs to. So I don't, not the negative. I want, what is, no, I want the name of the category. How do I get the name of the action category? I guess it would just be, if I were to do re-input dot mapping dot action categories. I don't know if I actually want to do this. I'm struggling a little bit here. Map category, get category. Well, yeah, I have access to the category or the maps. I just need to figure out which map I'm gonna actually pick. I don't know. Let's think about this. Okay, so with the current player, what other ways in which can I grab maps? Get maps. or not maps. Get map. Controller, yeah, we're kind of there. I mean, one way in which I could do this, which I don't really like, I guess, yeah, I need to give more information. Yeah. Okay, I need to give more information to the buttons, which then can give me more information about the rebind stuff. Because right now, the only information that I'm getting from the button is the action. I'm like, oh, here's the action. And then I guess I also have the label, but here's the action. If I were to also try and be like, oh, I want to, like, here's the category, the map category that you are associated with. The problem with that, not the button thing here. The problem with that is, well, okay, let's say we create the button. I get a bunch of actions, action categories. Yeah, this is the problem. User assignable actions. Yeah, I'm not actually getting the map categories that these things are associated with. And that is the main problem, is that I'm not actually getting those map categories. In this case, they happen to be the same thing, but if I had like a I have in the past have these things not be the same thing, which means that, like, yeah, we'd have some issues trying to do things. I guess the other thing that I could do is do tags. So get the tag, like each of these things can be tagged for each map category that is trying to be associated with, and then you would hook those things. I have used tags also before for the action categories, where like I have like an editor only tag. So then I can be like, I want to just list all of the action categories that are labeled editor, which is kind of useful. It's kind of useful to be able to just be like, oh yeah, I just want to show you only the editor stuff, or all the categories that are the editor stuff. And then from there you would be able to, or from there I would be able to be like, oh yeah, here's the action. I guess it would all be under the editor map category. Huh. Yeah. I guess, should I go with using tags? Search for category by tags and scripting. Yeah. Yeah. User assignable. I mean, I could say on foot. Yeah, sure. Well, I could say user assignable maps. Well, yeah, let's go look at that. Let's go dig into some of these things. Instead of user assignable actions, input dot mapping, user assignable map categories instead of action categories. Input map category, yeah. For each input map category in map categories. Okay. Input, mapping, user assignable, user assignable actions in category. Gives me the map category. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the wrong? Ooh. Input category. Oh. Oh, this actually might be incorrect what I did before. Because this this action category is an action category and not a map category. And action categories have different IDs, or can have different IDs than a map category. Which, I mean, I guess I could just like prove that here if I made a new one, called it editor. So this has an 8 and this doesn't. And if I click play here, okay, well, yeah, there's editor and then it has a thing. Let me make actual things inside of editor. Undo. Redo. Okay. Oh, no, it's still working. Could not find yet controller map of the thing. I guess, yeah, because those are just separate things. I guess no. Okay. Yeah, I guess category. Yeah, because category goes up to 7 here, and instead this goes up to 8. Huh. Interesting. I guess that isn't required. Or not required. Isn't a source of a problem. But it should be a source of a problem because this is not a map category. This is just an action category. I think this is probably the hardest part about Rewired, is just understanding how all these things link together. Action category. ID just gives you the action category. Okay, right. Input category. User assignable action, right. So if I change this to be, sorry, if I change this to be user assignable actions in category, user assignable maps. Categories with tag. Right.
Good afternoon. Let's
I guess map category here. Actually, I want to get map category dot ID. Right. So this gives me the category that this thing is about. I guess would that? Right. So the goal is to try and get the map category without having access to a action. I guess an action. so that when I go and start rebinding, I can say assign this action that we're making to this category. But I don't always, or if I remove this stuff, I guess I'll, instead of doing this, since I'm demonstrating, if I remove this stuff and it's back to what it normally is, I have access to the action categories. I have action, or I guess I have access to the actions and whatnot. So each button has access to the action. And it's like, oh, I'm probably, jump and stuff. But jump isn't, I mean, yeah, if I want to have jump to just be associated with one particular map, without having to change all this. What's going on here? Oh, I said get map. Wait, no, wait, get. Yeah, get map. Map. And is it only that? Okay. First map and category. I don't have a category name. That's the thing. Category name. Okay, let's well, what happened to my cursor? Whoa. There we go. Cursor exists. And now it doesn't. That is weird. I'm gonna do this. Cool. There we go. Weird. Okay. My cursor just completely changed. Okay, so we got the controller. And then we need the category name. Okay. Here's the plan. We're gonna just do current controller maps. Get first map. Last controller. And then the category name should be the target action. Target action dot category ID. Oh wait. Action ID. No, I want category ID. There we go. So this is giving me, this should be giving me a controller map. Yep, controller map. Target map. Controller map equals this. We're gonna get rid of this. Yeah, actually we're gonna get rid of this. And change this to just be target controller map. Okay. And get rid of this. Oh, if it goes 0, then we can't find the action, right? But now that's not necessary. This equals 0. Couldn't find the map. Yeah. That is more necessary. Okay. I wonder, get tag. Oh, get map. With tag? No, you can't do that. Get first. You can't use the tag system here? Interesting, I guess. can't use the tag system. Okay, well, I guess that would have been, I guess if I wanted to use the tag system. Sorry, I realize that I'm supposed to be testing this thing, but oh no, controllers, mapping, get map, category. Oh, is it only? Yeah, it's only that. Tag. App categories with tag. There we go. Huh. Okay. Well, one thing at a time, I guess. Okay, so going in here, we're loading. Cool. I'm trying to click the game. would be lovely to be able to switch over to the game scene. Okay, this is where, there we go. Okay. I'm wondering why everything is moving super slow. All right. I don't need all these debug information. Yeah, this is just last active. Because that is cluttering what I actually want. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Oh, sorry. I'm realizing there's like a buzz going on. Okay, so we got this. I'm gonna go click here and press the I, and that doesn't work because I clicked it. And if I click right, yep, then that does work. Okay. And then if I said dodge, but I middle click, yeah, so that is working as intended, I guess. And this is going to be the key here. If I do this, couldn't find a controller map with undo because I have the action ID rather than the controller or the map ID. And this is what I was talking about. This is where it falls apart. Is that like, yeah, technically right now everything works, like it appears to work. I can go in here and be like, yeah, right click. Oops, right click. I really gotta change that. But right click, I can make it so that like, oh yeah, middle click. Lock on is scroll wheel down or the vertical or whatever. Which I mean, I guess it's kind of showing that up. But so that's technically working, right? The issue is that here, let me go in here. That editor stuff, this is 8, ID is 8, and this does not go up to 8. So I just so happen to have that everything lined up the same, which is the main problem. So I need to figure out a way to have it so that I can get the map category of the action that this is associated with without and I actually have the actual category that this is associated with rather than just kind of vibing. So yeah, you can see here's all the categories here, and I'm just using the gamepad for the gamepad template stuff, or for the joystick maps. So I need to figure out this part. So if I'm like, I want to use jump is associated with, I believe it's shared. Yep. It's here. And it's not associated with on foot or building or whatever. But if it's not associated, or if I don't have a thing like gameplay, there does not have jump here on the mouse. And if I'm grabbing all this stuff based off of the action categories, which is something I do want to do, I want to grab based off of the action categories. How do I want to deal with that? Not entirely sure. Let me think. Okay. Really, the main thing that I'm thinking about is like, do I use the tags? Do I say, oh, inventory, and then I can say, here's inventory, and then I can look up the map category based off of the tag that these things are assigned to. So this would be, well, I guess inventory would have the inventory assigned to it. I could then say like, oh yeah, this editor one, this is actually assigned to the UI thing or something like that, where like I tag it with a map that is associated with. This way I just need to pass in an action, but that sounds clunky. How does this one work? Let's see, rebinding. Sorry, I'm not in front of the thing. Performance. Input. Not trying to do that stuff. Let's just, is there other? Input manager. Write events, create content. Yeah. One way that I would for sure have this work is if I lose the action thing here, if I don't use this input action thing and I just use the action category stuff, where like this part, I do this instead. I would then have access to the category. Yeah. And I guess I would have access to the category, and then I can get all the user assignable actions inside of said category. No, would I be able to? User. No, yeah. Yeah, I would need some way in which you can be able to be like, this is the thing that is associated with this. So I think, yeah, what I need to do is I need to be able to look through these categories. I need to be able to look through these categories, say, this is the one that I want to associate this with. And the way in which I could do that is I have a tag that it says this is a thing that is associated with this thing. This is one that's associated with it. Like I just grab the tag associated with the categories. It would make this a little bit more cumbersome. I don't know whether or not this accounts for all of the ways in which I would use the Rebind system, or not even the Rebind system, the map category / tag system. Am I currently like, is the thing that I'm about to do replacing the functionality of one of the use cases for the tag system? That's the thing that I'm currently thinking about. But I think that if that is the case, I think that right now, if I just was like, I'm not going to worry about that, I'm going to use this, utilize this, this would help me progress and like get the rest of the rebind system done. I would just have to set it up like this every time. It would help me get the rebind system done, and then in the future, if I do run into a problem like this where I am using tags in a different way, or I'm not using, you know, they're basically, yeah, I'm using tags in a different way, then I can have a little bit more robust version of this, which means then I wouldn't have this tag system. I'm gonna do this. Basically, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. And since everything's the same and all lines up, that's makes this part easier, I guess. I'm gonna say that the editor is actually associated with default. Whoops. Yeah, default is default. Yeah. But this is associated with the default tag for now. So we got all these things in here. Cool. Now I gotta go and do that here. And this is why I'm like, this does not feel good. Whoops. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Can I? There we go. There we go. All right. So now, well, now at this point, I don't need any of this stuff. I need to go here, go to get first. Or no, I need to do re-input.mapping.get map category. Oh, I have to do tag. Map categories with tag. And then I say tag, right, targets, action, tag. Wait, is there not tag? What? Wait a minute. How do I get the tag? I do remember me saying that that wouldn't exist, and I completely forgot. Good. Good. Action category. Oh, action category tags. Oh, it's inside of the mapping class or map helper. Oh no, this, yeah, it's here. Get tag. Is this something that I have to deal with on my own? That would kind of suck. Action category with tag, that's fine. But I want to be able to get the tag. Input action. Action category. Okay. Would I be able to get the action category? I saw it like get action category. Dot tag. There we go. That's how you do it. Ooh, that's that's a little bit rough. String action tag. now I want to say re-input mapping tag with tag action tag. And this is Innumerable:Oh, wait, input map. What is it? Map category. Okay. Map categories count. Oh, is there not a way in which I can tell how many? All right. Wow, this is not feeling good. Map categories, it would be map category. I guess, yeah, I would have the thing. How do I, okay, so I have the map, input map category. Input category. I guess, yeah, I would have the current player controller maps get map. No, man, I really don't like this. Oh, not target. It would be map category.id. Yeah, I really don't like this. What? Oh, not get maps. Get map. There. Yeah, this feels really bad. Okay. Okay, so I guess this would be couldn't find controller map with action undo. Bug log test, or I guess map category name. Because yes, it shouldn't, there should not be anything assigned to it. It's default. Yeah. Get map default. It's default. What? This is null. Why is that? Why is that null? Hit the last controller. Controller map doesn't exist. It doesn't exist because if you go look at the controller map, whoops, what the? Okay, this is acting weird. I'm gonna restart Unity. I'll save and restart Unity because that is acting weird. I guess while that's happening, let me try and talk through this so that I can figure this out. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grab the controller map that I want to be like, hey, I'm assigning this thing over to whatever. The problem is that I only have the action. And because I only have the action because I am only grabbing the action stuff, that means that I don't have access to the controller, the map category that this thing is going to be associated with. The way in which I'm attempting to solve that is I have a tag on the action that says this thing is associated with this map category. I don't like that because you saw all of that extra coding that I had to do in order to just be able to grab that stuff. Clearly it does not seem like it's supposed to be done in that way. I think that's probably why you see in all of the examples for Rewired, you have like a button that says you are selecting this category of stuff rather than just here's a list of like all of the things that you can do. That way, then you can just say I am explicitly looking at this category of maps, or this map category, rather than I am looking at all of these actions. Which, I mean, that might be the solution. Is that I instead of doing actions, I do map categories and say, hey, I'm looking at these map categories and whatnot. But I guess that kind of is beside the point, because that doesn't necessarily solve the problem. But anyway, I do all of that stuff. I get all that map category stuff in. I add the tags in. That's what I am doing right now. I'm now trying to have it so that the map stuff, or I go and grab the map and whatnot. I am getting the maps correctly and whatnot. The issue is if that map category doesn't exist in the template, which default doesn't exist in the template for the mouse, I can't go add that to the map or to that. I would need to make my own. Yeah. Yeah, I would need to make my own map here. Everything that I'm doing right now feels like I am doing something in a roundabout way. That's why it doesn't really feel good, because like, yeah, right now everything on the joystick is like accounted for, but that is not the case for keyboard and mouse. Keyboard and mouse within its own binding stuff, you would be able to do that, but like I also don't want to make it so that it's associated with the controller there, because if I'm on keyboard and I'm like, I click on the thing, I want to rebind the keyboard and mouse. I'm not trying to just rebind the mouse. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, where I'm trying to figure out like if I were to go and grab a new controller map, or if I was trying to go and grab a controller map, I would get null. Then I would have to add I would have to say, hey, I'm making a new controller map associated with this thing. Like I'm making a new thing that is associated with this tag. Put it on the mouse map. Yeah, I think that would be how that would have to work. Okay. Let's try that out. Everything that I'm doing right now feels wrong. I feel like I'm doing a very complicated thing. And or not even that I'm doing a very complicated thing, that I'm doing something that isn't how Rewired is set up to be. That's the thing that's making me that's giving me pause. Okay, so if it's equals null, let's say, yeah, if it equaled null, then the current player controller maps add map last controller new. I want a new map. Do I guess, do I have to make the new outside of this? Controller map. New map equals. Oh my goodness. New controller map. Controller map value. No, okay. ID? I guess, can I do like load? Re-input. Mapping. Add. No, there's not really a. Yeah, there's not really a way to be able to get the map stuff. Everything about this just seems wrong. Oh, I did. Whoops. I don't know. Everything about this just seems really wrong. What was the loading maps? Add map, remove, yeah, clear. This didn't. I don't know how. I mean, yeah, this feels wrong. It really does. Enabling, disabling, yeah. Assigning controllers to players. Okay. Yeah, it just feels wrong. Everything that I'm doing feels wrong. Let's look at examples. Because I selected map, yeah, that's the thing. Get first map in category. Select the controller and then category ID. User assignable, okay. Okay, so I get the first map with the category, cool. I get the selected thing. And then I want to get the action. Or I want to display the actions, I guess. Select again, okay, cool. So each Action category, action. Okay, get action category. Oh, really? Oh, oh, oh no. Oh no. Um, oh no. Okay. And this is the more robust one. Oh no. Okay. So to explain why I'm saying oh no. um I'm saying oh no because the way it gets the action category is it's the inverse of what I am doing, which is fine. That's not the scary part. It's that it's getting the action category by just using the name. If it's the same name, then grab that category, which again, for the most part, should work fine. I get these things. These are all, yeah, but this doesn't have a matching name, which means it doesn't have a matching category. Oh no. I guess, yeah, that's also really interesting because that also implies I guess the way that this demo does it, that also implies that map categories and action categories are the same, should be the same. They should have parity. Now I gotta know. Okay, so we got map categories. I want to know action categories because that's the one that is okay. We got actions, action categories. Action divided in different lists are only for organizational purposes in the rewired editor or lists of actions for displaying in UI. Yeah, they have no impact on the controls that are mapped and do not affect input in any way. O versus re-input. All actions are actually input actions and should not be used other than to get information about the user's intent. They are not to be confused with game states. Yeah, that's fine. Action jump does not designate players jumping. No, the player wants to jump. Yes. Game should implement permission, but yeah. After that point, what happens outside of input? Yeah, that's fine. This is the thing that is okay. So this is the thing that I am giving too much power over to. Yeah. Okay. This is the thing that I'm giving too much power over to. I think I need to do the reverse of what I am currently doing, which is I am let me try and think of what I'm doing right now. I am saying I have an action category. I want to get the map category versus what I should do is the flip is I want to say I want to get the map category of these things, or I have the map category of these things. I want to get the action category of these. The way that would work is that I would have it so that sure, I use the name of the action category or the map category. So inventory or emote or whatever. And then I go and look at the tag of the action categories. That way, then I can also still get these as separate objects, or not objects, as separate categories. So I can still get access to things that are not named those things, or not named like default or named whatever, like editor will still show up there. if it is tagged like that. And then from there, from the button, action button, I also store the category that this action is associated with. What is the category name, like ID and stuff. And then after that, I pass that in here when I'm starting to rebind. I get the action ID and I give it the category. So I don't do any of this stuff. I just pass in, here's the category that this thing is associated with. And then I guess here's the category that this thing is associated with. I go grab the, I guess I just get it based off of the ID and whatnot. It's not based off of, it's not the actual controller map, because that is the dynamic thing. That is the thing that is actually being changed. And this is where I get the player. I do not the add map. I do this. I do the player.get map thing. But that does not solve, I guess, yeah, that does not solve the problem where I'm like, I want to bind a thing that doesn't have a map associated with it. Okay. This does help. This does help. It makes I gotta redo some stuff. I gotta redo things. So let's redo things. So main thing is, this isn't how this is going to be. I am going to do the opposite. Oh, I didn't. I guess I did the, yeah. I'll just do the opposite. We'll do enumerable input map category. Map categories equals reinput dot mapping. Also, let me move this over here. Mapping dot user assignable map categories. I don't care about the tags right now. In fact, I don't think that map categories even need tags in that regard. Yeah. And then for each, you can tell how much I use for each. For each map category in map categories. Map category. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I then say, hey, I got a map category. I want to go and get all of the actions associated with the map category, I guess. Yeah. So I then do the enumerable, input category action category equals reinput dot mapping dot user assignable action categories with tag, and the tag is map category dot name. Okay, why is what? Right. I'm gonna get rid of this. Just so that there's no errors there. Okay, so we now have this. Oh man, I hate doing all these for each loops. Action category. So basically what I'm doing, in most cases, it should be, input category. In most cases, it should just be action category. Category and action categories. Yeah, in most cases, it should just be one thing. But in some cases, like default, or in this particular instance, default, I will be making a bunch of, or I'm going to be doing a check to see whether or not there are multiple ones associated with the things. based off of the tag. Okay, so I get the user assignable thing in the thing. Okay, all the for each things. Oof. Create action button, and then I pass in the map category dot ID. I guess the map category, I pass that in. Go here, go to definition, say input map category, map category. Go to setup button, input map category, target map category. It'd just be way easier if I just save this, and then private input map category. Map category equals target map category. Oh, target map category. Okay. All right. And I pass in map category. Whoops. Jeez. I am really nailing it. Nailing it with these things. Okay. So there's all of that. It's a lot of things that I just changed. I need to change this. So now I need to also pass in a map category. Input map category. Target map category. Okay. And then so I got the action. Yeah, I'm not worried about that stuff. I don't need this. I don't need this either. Nor do I need that. This is the thing that I need. I don't need a break. Right. Okay. Yes. So yeah, I got rid of a lot of things here. So essentially what I'm doing here now is I am grabbing this start rebinding stuff, and I just say, okay, or I guess at the start I say, hey, are we listening? Yeah or no, then back out. Or if we are, then back out. Don't try and rebind again. If we are not, then grab the last active controller. In this case, it will be clicking. Have like set that equal to, I guess I don't need to set that equal to null. I can just say do this. Yeah, do this. Get the map from the last controller, and then the map category. This is where we're gonna have a problem because not every thing will be associated or will have one, and I'll need to do something about that. But for now, it'll just say null. But I want to be able to make sure that all of this stuff actually works. Whoops. Outside of that, so I'm gonna try, and we're gonna hope that. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, I got a map category. I'm gonna hope that everything else just works, or like continues to work. All right, because that means that editor should actually show up at the top because it's part of default. What is up with me not being able to click on things? Yeah, look at that. That's weird, huh? I can click on this. I can't click on those tabs. I can click on this. Weird. Okay, that is really weird and a little bit unsettling. All right. So gameplay, yeah, no. Oh, wait. These are the only user assignable ones, aren't they? Which makes sense because I wanted to make it so that those are the only ones that are user assignable. Oh, yep. These two are. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, for now... What are action categories looking like? It's visible in lists. I do want to make it so that that does honor those things. So like if inside of the map category, I'm like, this is user assignable. I do want to make it so that it honors these things. So only, yeah, all of these things should be visible in lists. Emote, yeah, but emote isn't a user assignable thing. Okay. We're about to test something. We're gonna honor these. We're gonna honor these things. We're not gonna like force it. I'm not gonna change things. So we're gonna honor this. So here we are. We got the map category. These are get all the user assignable map categories. We already are honoring that. Cool. Then I want to get all user assignable action categories with tags. So I wonder if that means these are all the ones that can show up in lists. Right now, I'm going to just say default is a user assignable one just to see whether or not this actually shows up in lists. Okay, yeah, undo shows up in a list. Default doesn't. Which actually I think makes sense because this doesn't show up in lists and this one does. Okay, so that I am honoring those things. Yes, I'm going to bring back to that. So I'm honoring these things, right? And then from there, can I say, yeah, I can say whether or not these are visible in lists. So if I went to in here and I said that on foot isn't, or no, on foot is, but the lock on is not visible in lists. If I said that, yeah, now I don't see lock on. Then if I said make lock on visible in lists, whoops, I mean this, make that visible in lists. Okay, I am honoring all these things. Okay, right. So this is just a problem with the current setup of things, with me testing things. I have now trimmed down this significantly because I forgot that I did do that, and I was trying to test for that. Which honestly is totally fine because all of these things, well, I guess no, not all these things are. It should do everything that I want it to do. So like if I go in here, oh yeah, if I go in here, you can't find it. You can't find a controller map with heavy attack because if I quit out of this, in the map, with the mouse map, there's not a heavy attack here. I don't have a thing. It doesn't even have to be assigned. It doesn't have to find a controller map with the action. I just need to find a controller map and not find a controller map. the controller map is just target map category name. I guess descriptive name is easier. Okay, I need to get rid of all these commented out things, but since I'm in this test mode, I don't want to do that quite yet. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that was an unexpected side effect, and it is the intended behavior. It is actually the desired behavior to do this. Okay. Well, I guess that's one way of discovering that. Again, I can't do that, but now I can. Weird. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe I need to just like restart my computer or something. Okay, so I click on this. Yeah, cannot find controller map on foot for the mouse. Right. So if I go look at the mouse on foot. Wait, it does have a on foot. Could not find controller map. Get map. Jeez. Or I cannot find controller map that or controller plus last controller name. I'll say that. I think that's probably going to be a little bit more clear. Yeah, could not find controller map gameplay shared for mouse or on foot for mouse. Couldn't find it for the keyboard either. Why? If I said the name of the category name, yeah. What's controller? Manager. Get. No, I can't do get map. Okay, I didn't set that up beforehand. What is going on, man? Couldn't find that or the controller or the mouse for the keyboard. Why is it not finding that? Let's try current. Well, actually, here, let me go and look at the example, I guess. Okay, I'm not worried about drawing. I'm worried about get first category. Category ID. What is, yeah. Get first map and category. Oh, so I should just say that instead? I guess, yeah, type an ID. Or I have the controller now. I say this. Okay. Okay, let's say this. All right. Click on this. Okay, it does work. I changed it. Cool. Right click. Oops, right click every time. That's happening, by the way, because I'm right clicking on top of the button, which then after I right click, it's then clicking the button again and then saying, oh, you're trying to assign it. Which I need to shore up against so that that doesn't happen. But okay, so this is happening. This is working. If I was like zoom, I can do zoom. Yeah. Yeah. I guess move horizontal is just clicking a button, which is weird, but hey. Okay, so that's working. This is actually all working. I feel like I'm kind of in the same spot as when I first started, but it is working. Okay. It is working. All this stuff is working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all this stuff because this is way too confusing to read. And all of that stuff was, that was me testing things. Yeah, I don't need to worry about the replacement thing. I think that the context for one of these things, where's the context for this? It might be up above. No. There we go. Element map. Where do you assign? Element map. Element map equals. If action, yeah, okay. Select a map, all maps. Element map. Okay, if it has something, then show it. Okay, okay. I think I understand what that is like. So yeah, this is all working. The thing that I don't think is going to work is if I go in and add in lock on, make that visible, which I think I should probably. No, I don't know. Anyway, make that visible. Now I think that if I go to the lock on here, it's not going to find lock on for mouse because it doesn't have a default category on it, or a default, yeah, mouse category, which is a problem, I guess. By guess, I mean, yeah, that is a problem. Let's see. So yeah, that, I mean, that's actually a very simplified version of like, oh, this is what I was having an issue from before. So let me, well, first let me save. But second, oh, I didn't save this. Yeah, I didn't say this. I don't need this. I don't think. AEM equals, yeah, all the selected things. I guess, yeah, I could say, oh, if I'm replacing a thing. Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's actually go look and see if that I actually need to do that. If I said this, or if I say play, and then I go in here and say this, and then I say this, oh, this, there, nope. Yeah, it's not replacing it. Yeah, it's not replacing it. Oh, it is replacing it there. But then if I look in here, yeah, it's not replacing it. Okay. Action element map. AEM equals current player dot controller dot maps dot get first action or element map. Can I just do target controller map get first element map with action? Yeah, there we go, with target action dot ID. Action element map AEM equals. Do this, but do this after here. There we go. Waiting for input. Oh yeah. I'm like, wait, why do I have that there? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And as you can see, this is part of the reason why it's there's just a lot to consider and think about when trying to do controller rebinding. Okay, so now if I say this is jump, and I say this is now this, yes, now it's actually replacing it, which is good. Good. But yeah, and if there is nothing, then it's null. Cool. Yeah. Whoops, I I didn't mean to start it again. So yeah, we're back. We're kind of back where we started, except it's a little bit more. It's shored up to be able to like click on anything and use anything. The issue now. Well, yeah, let's think about the issue before I need to go use the bathroom. But let's see. The issue now is that let's not worry about the axes yet. Well, do I want to worry about the axes yet? Axis. Axie. I don't know. Axi. Do I want to worry about that right now? I think I kind of do. Yeah, I kind of do. I think I want to think about like, okay, well, here's the, I don't know. Let's think. Let me think. Right. I can do that, which I mean is fine. I do have to think about the axes now. Okay. So, well, one, this is not doing the move horizontal, move vertical stuff because by default, I don't want it to do that. In fact, I don't think that I'd ever want it to do that. I think that I would want to have some type of button or toggle to say, use the mouse look. But yeah. So yeah. Do I start doing controller stuff? Is that what's next? Maybe. Because it's going to be hard for me to do an axis thing without having axis things. So yeah, I'm going to get my controller. One sec. Oh, there you go. Okay, so getting my controller. Yep. All right. Right. Weird. I can't move left to right here. That's not great. Not a great sign. Okay. Jump is X. Cool. Sprint Y. Why not? Zoom. Right trigger. Why not? Okay, so this stuff is working. That's zoom, and it's just the positive range. It's not the full range. If I said, yeah, zoom right stick, it would make sense, but move horizontal. Okay. I'm trying to think of the way in which I want to actually deal with this stuff. Move horizontal. I want the right stick to be horizontal, vertical. So now move is on the right stick. Zoom. I mapped zoom in, but I haven't mapped. Oh, okay, so if I mapped zoom in, okay, here, let's look at this here. So zoom in, right? Because I pressed a button, it did zoom in. If I press a stick, zoom is mapped to zoom, or that is now mapped to zoom as an axis. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess I would want to be able to show the, if I press a button, then I need to do 2. Okay, yeah. I think that's probably the next thing I do. The next thing I do is to make it so that that is, if you assign it to a specific type of button, I can then dynamically check saying, oh, is this an axis? Yes, it is. All right, we've fulfilled the thing. If it is not, then do the next input and whatnot. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. Okay, so we are gonna do that, but I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. We're making progress. It's a little slower than I was hoping, largely just because that there was that whole controller map debacle thing that I was trying to figure out. But I mean, that's kind of how it goes, I guess. But yes, I will be right back. Oh. Hey, how's it going? Oh, hey, Daniel. Of course, when I step away, that's when people show up. How are you doing, Daniel? All right. Let me get back to this. So, yeah, so before the break, what did we do? Before the break, we got it so that, yeah, you can go in here. You can be like, oh, I want the dodge button to be on the right click, which is cool. Previously on. So yeah, we got that in here. And then you can say, you know, well, yeah, you can do that for, before I do the thing that I was going to do, but regardless, yeah, so you can go in here and be like, oh yeah, left click is jump and whatnot. You right now, I am not worried about conflict checking, which I guess I should probably, do I have a thing that, no, I don't have, or yeah, I don't have a thing that's like, hey, check for conflicts or not. But that's fine. That's a thing that I can deal with later. But yeah, you can go in here and rebind stuff. What? No way. The problem is like, okay, if I did this, there you go. Yeah, I use, whoops, right. The problem is if I click on this, then it's expecting the mouse to do something. But if I, well, so like I need to use the mouse to assign a thing. But if I use the keyboard, so I'm moving up and down with the keyboard. If I use the keyboard to do a thing and then I say, yeah, N is the thing. Oh, but it's not going to do that because it's not reassigning the mouse button. So that's also another problem that I gotta figure out. But yeah, like you can say the right bracket is lock on, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so basically what I need to do now is I need to try and figure out like, oh, okay, what does this look like to be able to have both the mouse and the keyboard be able to be reassigned if you click or like use the keyboard. How does that work? That is a good question. I guess, yeah, what if I just duplicated this? If last controller equals no, type equals, oh no, I don't need to do this because I have a convenience function for this controller manager dot is keyboard or mouse last controller. There we go. Then I guess I can also say start rebind. No, that's start rebinding. If it is that, then what? I don't know. Let's think. Then basically I want to say the same thing. So I want to look for input mapper dot start. If I said also start again with a new context, would that also work? Let's try. Input mapper start. Oh, I need a context, right? So let me give additional context. Target map. Let's do, okay, so I'm gonna like really hard code this in. If the thing is a keyboard and mouse, do all of this stuff. Else, do all of this stuff. I will change this. I just want to know whether or not this actually works. I guess I can say context again, huh? Well, actually, let's do mouse context. Oh boy. Text. There. I can type. Don't worry. Okay, so there's the mouse context, and then input mapper dot context. Oops. Input mapper. Keyboard context equals this. Whoops. Equals this. And just do the same thing. Except the keyboard is just positive, right? And this is, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to look for so instead of just target controller map, I'm going to say mouse controller map. Get rewired input controllers mouse. And then the keyboard controller map equals the keyboard version of this. All right, there we go. Turn that down a little bit. Also, I again shout out to Ben Burns for providing all this dope music. Okay, AM. I'm gonna say, I guess I should say AM. Oh, AM. Action element map mouse. And it should be mouse. Get the first mouse thing with that. And then we'll do the same. Do the same thing here. This is very heavy-handed version of this keyboard. So, whoops. Do this. And then do this. I might want to make it so that instead of getting the last controller, I just I can make it like, hey, here's a controller to give. Okay, so I do all of this. Cool, I do all of this. And then I say input mapper start mouse context. Now, the thing I don't know is that if I do input mapper dot start a keyboard context, not status, whoops, start. I don't know if this is actually going to work. I think that is probably not going to work. We'll do this. All right. Okay, we're gonna do that. And we're gonna just see if this actually works. I don't think that is actually gonna work. Okay. Okay, so, oh, and this died as soon as I pressed the play button. That's fine. We go here, and then I say, whoop, I click on it, but I pressed U. No. Okay, I right click, yeah, there you go. Okay. Do mouse, so, if I do the mouse first, or not the mouse, I do the keyboard first. So I click, or I tap this. Yeah, now it doesn't. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So I'm wondering if I need to have two private input mapper Second mapper. Big mapper. Not. Oh, most input mapper. There we go. Mapper. There we go. If I said second mapper equals input mapper, will that work? Second mapper. When the thing is mapped. Second map. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I might need to do. Well, I don't think. Well, let's just go in here and say input mapper.cancel or stop. Second mapper.stop. If status idle, I guess. I don't know if this is actually gonna work either. But hey, we gonna learn today. All right, here we go. I click on this. Yeah, no, it did not work. Equals, yeah, equals the keyboard context. Okay, if I did this. Oh wait, no, before I do this, let me go in here and be like, copy, place, paste, and paste, paste, and then do that. Again, fairly heavy-handed version of what I will ultimately do, but I just want to know, is this actually the way in which you do it? No, still no. Okay, so then we're gonna go in here and we're gonna just turn this off. We're gonna just not do that. Started listening for keyboard and mouse. I'll say that so I can differentiate between the two things. All right. Click keyboard and mouse. Yeah. No, it still did that, which is weird. Did I screw something up? Yes, I did. I did screw something up. Okay. Well, now I'm wondering, oh, well, does this change other things? So now this isn't working, but now I can press that. Okay. Okay. If I was like, oh, whoops. If I was like input mapper, just the input mapper, does this work? Something tells me no. Still no. But hey, it would simplify a lot of my code. Oh, wow, it did simplify a lot of my code. Oh my goodness. Must belong to the same, yes. Why is it? E. Okay. There's your problem. Okay, I am passing in the wrong thing. Oh. Every time. Oh, okay. I really gotta update my variables. This worked though. So there's that. Okay. This. I want the right click. Nope. Uh-oh, that's not working. I just clicked. Ah. It's no longer. Nope. Only the key. Oh, what? Only the keyboard's working here? Okay, let's look. Keyboard context. I'm getting the keyboard. Yep. I'm getting this. Yep. Yeah, I'm getting the mouse. I'm getting the keyboard. I'm getting all the keyboard stuff. Started this and I started this. Can I? Okay. 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 I don't think this is actually working then. Because if I do, goodness sake, this, then I'm wondering if it works. Because I think it's just overwriting the problem or the thing. Yeah, it is overwriting the thing. Okay. So then I'll do second mapper. This, nope. No, it's not working. Why is that not working? Because I did this. And then we go in and press the play button. And now it's working. But even having a second one, whoa. That's not working. I'm gonna do this manually. I'm gonna void setup input mapper. Take in an input mapper. Target mapper. There. Go do these things. And then just replace these things. And then get rid of these things. And then say set up mapper. Input mapper. Oh. There. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Okay. Okay, well. Okay, so that is working. Now the issue is that I need to unassign the so yeah, now I have jump on left click. Whoops. I have jump on left click, but if I want to jump on space, well, okay, I want to jump on Y. I really gotta fix that. I have it on Y, but it's showing left click because it's also still assigned to left click. And I need to remove that assignment. Okay. Okay, but yeah, this is the way in which I have to do it. I have to have two different mappers, and then I can have the like different contexts and stuff. I want to simplify this. I would love to be able to simplify this so that I can like maintain this a little bit better. Where I have just a start rebinding thing, and then I can just pass in a controller. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Pass in a controller. I guess I need to pass in a mapper, huh? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Wait, what's this called? Public void start rebinding. We're gonna just do this. Whoops. And this will get a controller. Target controller. The input action target action, and then input map category target map category. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I get all of this stuff. Yeah, and then this stuff, well, basically this stuff here I don't do, but what I do instead, or yeah, I guess I do this, and then if controller manager, I really gotta get better at that, is keyboard mouse last controller, then start rebinding, re-input controllers dot keyboard action target map category, start rebind, re-input controllers, mouse target action, target map category, else start rebinding, re-input, or not re-input, this last controller, target action, target map category. This almost is done. It's just I don't have this part. This part is the problem. So I need to pass in, I guess I need to pass in a input mapper in order for that to work, which I don't like. Yeah, and there's no way for me to be able to say this is the one to look at. Target mapper, I guess. Whoop, dear. Okay. target mapper equals controller. Okay, I think I made that all fairly generic except for this, but I can deal with that later. And then I say input mapper. I say input mapper. Wait, no, yeah. And then I say second mapper. Save. Okay. I think that should do it. And then I go in here. I press play on this. And we wait. Okay, and we play. There we go. We're getting to the point where I should probably go get food at some point, but I am making progress. There we go. Right, you can't see those things, but it did work. This is working. Cool. So I've simplified that so that it's now a manageable thing. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. Blam. All right. Cool. Cool. Now the main problem is, well, also this also is a good proof of concept of having multiple players trying to rebind stuff. The fact that I can like have multiple things running at once. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it, Daniel. But yeah, this is a good proof of concept for when I get rebinding into OmniGear. Okay, so let's try and figure out the next problem. What is the next problem? Let's think about what the next problem is. Well, now you can use the keyboard and the mouse if you're using a keyboard and mouse to rebind stuff, which is nice. Right, I need to unassign the action on the other one if it is a keyboard and mouse. So how do I do that? So let's see. I think what I can do, well, actually before, is there a way to remove, just straight up remove a thing? Which I guess is also a thing that I need to do regardless. So how do you just straight up remove an assignment? What you up to, Daniel, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, I don't see a way in which you can just like, or at least a very clear, oh yeah, just remove this thing. Okay, well, here's, never mind, here's one. Let's go to this. Control map, delete map. It's just delete map. Okay. Ooh, a game design doc for work. Oh, for the game show thing. Nice. There you go. Working on some game dev. Okay, so I'm gonna start rebinding. I should just make a, whoops, well, don't put it there because that would be weird. Public void remove binding. I guess I just need, what do I need here? We're moving into story. There you go. I'm not super familiar with Storyline, but it sounds like hyperlink plus. so it sounds exciting. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay, so how do I get the, well, I guess I just do literally the exact same thing that I normally do. Controller, target, controller, input, action, target, action, and then input, map, category, target, map, added, category, and I don't need the input mapper because I'm just removing things. Ah, it's instructional design stuff. Gotcha. Yeah, there might have been a time in which I would have had that same, or I've had to interact with that because of the healthcare stuff that I was working on from like a year ago. But we were making our own custom stuff, so we weren't really looking at any of that stuff. And it was all in VR, so that was also another thing. Okay, so I guess let me, is the context. Oh wait, I do need the input. Oh no, I do need the context. Oh wait, no, I don't need the context. I just need the controller map. Okay, well. Target. Well, let me get the controller map. Get the controller map. Cool. Target controller map. Nope, that's target controller map. Delete map element with, wait, element maps with action, target action.id. Yeah, I guess that would be it. This shows up there, that shows up there, and then yeah, that's there. Okay. All right. So I did this. Oh, I don't need any of this stuff here. We can simplify that. And we don't need this stuff because we flipped the two things around. So yeah, this is simplifying a lot of this, which is nice. Cool. All that stuff is happening. Then I want to say if object.controller, controller. Did I not get the controller? Element map.controller map. Controller type equals. Not this. Ooh, actually, no, I do want specifically if it is the keyboard, then delete, or no. Did I say remove? What did I? Remove binding. Re-input dot controller dot mouse. The action object dot action. Oh, I don't have the action, huh? Get the, I guess I gotta do input action equals, oops. Ooh, how do I want to do this? Re-input dot layer, no, mapping action, get action. Yeah, there we go. ID, no, action element, ID, action ID. Oh man, I am struggling over here. All right, we get the action, right? And then I guess I also don't have access to the category. Oh, no, I do have access to the category. Ooh, no, I don't. That's not good. Because if I want to say remove binding, Re-input dot controllers. Oh, dot controllers dot mouse. Yeah. Then I say action, and then I wonder if there's a way in which I can not have the category. I guess, yeah, get first with target action. Oh, target action. Dot ID. Hold on. Is, yeah, the target controller. Target action. ID. Oh, false. Oh, not the map. This. There we go. Okay, so now I'm getting this. What is this? Action element map. AEM. I'll just, yep. And AEM dot controller. Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, controller map. And then you delete it. Cool. And then I don't need this. Okay. All right. Okay. Go click play. And then we're going to see whether or not this actually works. And this also would make it so that, so yeah, I go here, right click, now it's the right click. I go here, now it's E. Cool. Okay, so that did work. Dope. Now I'm going to just go in here. Oh, not here. Go in here. And then say else if obj. I'll just, it would probably be easier if I just copied this. And then I said mouse. Keyboard. There. Okay. I think so. Yeah, this again, I'm doing the simplified version. So if I right click, bam, now I got this on here. If I press O, it is O. If I right click again, it's on right click, and O is not jump anymore. So cool. That worked. Lock on. Right. So if there's nothing assigned to things, remove binding. Right. If AM equals null, return. Just don't do anything because you don't have to remove the binding if it doesn't exist. So cool. Right, now let's go look at lock on, right click, bam, left click, E, X. Dope. Okay, well that works. So yeah. So yeah, I guess then the next thing I gotta do is have it so that you can do axes. So how do I do axes? Let's think. So you got move horizontal and move vertical. I'm just gonna do, yeah, I guess I'll just do the move horizontal, move vertical stuff. If it is, oh, I gotta do some editing. I gotta do some editing here with the button stuff. Boom. Because I need the buttons to show multiple ones if needed. And in this case, it will be needed. The action button, and then it'll be like, oh, I want multiple icons. So if I want to have multiple icons, go in here, say, hey, I don't, this will ignore elements, but this will have a horizontal element in the center. Cool. Do not expand the width, just have it so that it's what it is. Cool, now there's multiple of these. I will say that these will have their own layout element, preferred height and width. Cool, have the width be controlled by the size of these. Awesome. So yeah, now I can be like, show however many icons I need based off of whatever I need. Whoops. Yeah. Cool. I go into this. Let me think. So I'll need public. No, hold on. Public game object. Glyph image prefab. So when I'm updating the glyphs, I think I should do that. Yeah. And then public list of game objects. Oh, list of game objects. Glyph objects equals new. It does not actually need to be public. I'm realizing this should probably be private. There we go. All right, so we got the glyph here. So, okay, we got glyphs here. I need to make a new glyph icon, or yeah, those icons. So let's just do that for right now, not public. Void create glyph icons, or icon, I guess I should say. Instantiate glyph image prefab at, and then I also need a public transform glyph list. Glyph list. There you go. New glyph equals. Ooh, do I want game objects, or I think I kind of want images? Glyph images. Okay. And then what? Now I got this new glyph. I want to say glyph images dot add new glyph get component image. Cool. And then if I said, well, actually, yeah, that would probably do it. So now I need what? Oh, a sprite. Glyph image. Or I guess glyph sprite. New glyph dot sprite. Nope, not get component image dot sprite equals glyph. Nope. Glyph sprite. There we go. Okay. So at this point, if A equals null, yeah. So, right. Okay, let me think. So if I were to try and grab, well, I guess the thing that I'm thinking about is a little bit of optimization stuff, which again, don't need right now because I'm just trying to get the functionality in. But one of the things that I could do, yeah, I should really I'm just gonna clear and delete everything. Void delete glyph icons, or I equals glyph images count glyph images. Nope. Destroy glyph images game object. Whoop. I dot game object glyph images dot clear. There. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna say last active. Yeah, that's fine. Right. This is the thing that I'm going to change. Okay, so I'm going to look at the action. So the action dot what am I trying to find? Equals dot. Okay, yes, that's the thing I'm trying to find. If action type equals a axis. Well, wait, let me think about this a little bit. Let's not worry about the axis yet. Let's just try and print to the screen. Delete glyph icons for each action, I guess. I guess I need a list of actions, not actions, but whether or not you're going up and down, I guess. I need actions. I need actions. Action dots. Input actions. Input actions. Actions dot add. Guess I don't need hold on. I'm gonna just I'm gonna make it verbose and then try and figure out what exactly I'm trying to type. Get the glyph, this. All positive. Cool. Rename this positive glyph. Negative glyph. Okay. And then I guess, yeah, based off of this, create, instead of doing let me think. No, get glyph. Yeah. Okay, if it doesn't equal null, create glyph icon, positive glyph. Yeah, I think that's actually all I need. If negative glyph not equal null. Sorry, I keep on not talking in front of the mic. Create glyph icon negative thing. There you go. Okay. Cool. Else if action glyph does not equal null, create glyph icon action glyph. Dope. Okay, I think that should do it. Okay. Let me go in here after it loads. Let me go in here, click this, and then click on where things go. So this is the list. This is the, oh, I don't have the icon made yet. So, ooh, did I? No, I didn't. I'm glad that I checked this. Hold up. This needs, I'm gonna apply. Overrides, yes. Okay, go here. Drag this down to here. Delete this. And then drag this into here. I guess action icon. Now let's call it action icon. Or maybe glyph. Action glyph. Okay. I got that in there. And then, oh, this here is not needed anymore. Okay, we do that. Oh, backing out of this, save there, delete this thing because, well, that was just for demonstration purposes. Save this, click play, and then we're gonna be shocked. There it is. I love how it's reversed. No, wait, up, down, yeah. Positive, negative, right. Change target is C and Z, apparently. Okay. But now if I do this, it is just now one thing, right? Okay. 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 We're getting places now. Things are looking like a rebinding system. All right, so looking at this, you can see all that stuff here. Right, so you can see this is an axis, and it's an axis that you can see with the keyboard. Right, cool. Let me go in and turn on this controller, and then turn this up. There's your problem. Oh wait, no, never mind. Looking at the wrong thing. Okay, yeah. Every time it updates, it clears it all. It could be optimized, but I will optimize that later. Just trying to get it to work. Sweet. So now what I need to do is I want to have it so that I want to have it so that if you click on the thing and then you put in an input, yeah, I guess if you put in an input, I probably will need to change what this says, but you put in an input. If it is a button, then it'll expect the negative version of the input. So waiting for input, move horizontal. Okay. So yeah, if I say move horizontal, now it's going to be, wait, why did it say uh-oh. Yeah, I'm pressing other things and it's not updating that. Oh, unless I'm wondering why. Unless D is also not being removed from, yeah, I don't actually think it's being removed from the okay. Okay, so yeah, it's not being removed from the positive and negative version of these actions. First element map with action. I need to find all element maps with action. Element maps with action. Okay, and this should be IEnumerable. Yep, IEnumerable. For each action. element map, AEM. Oh wait, hold on. I should probably rename this AEM list for each action element map, AEM in AEM in AEM list. That here. Okay, I do this. Now if I go in here, I think that this could possibly work. Maybe. Maybe. I have my doubts. So if I say this, yeah, I have my doubts. But if I this, no, it did not work. What? Oh, whoops. I didn't. Wait, what? No, hold on. Hold up. Right. I'm trying to remove. Right. I'm trying to remove the element from the thing, and now I'm trying to look at a list that doesn't have that element anymore, I think. Delete element maps. Oh, no, it's doing all of them. No, then hold up. Hold up then. Then why is this not working? Or not this way. This way. Delete. Are there? No, it's just those two. Delete all items for the controller map that contains a specific action. Then I don't know. Let's go look and look at the debug stuff. I go here and then I just open up the rewired input manager, which is now don't destroy on mode. There you go. Okay, we got the keyboard maps, and then we got not the default stuff, but the gameplay stuff, because we're going to look at move horizontal. And this is, yeah, so it's up, or it's the horizontal part, so the left and the right, so A and D. So I go here, whoops, I go here, I say it is I, so I is right and D is still right, which is incorrect. Well, one, it didn't, well, it removed left. It did not remove right. Okay. K is now right, but yeah, and it's not removing that. AM to replace. Okay. Okay. Right. And then, oh yeah, this was also another thing that I kind of fast tracked. I forgot. The range of the input, for example, access type action could use Ruby maps for full range or just one side of the action. You know, pass value. Gotcha. Right. And this is where I'm okay. So like I'm expecting the full range, so you can go ahead and do the full range. If the thing that you just put in was not a full range thing, then I want you to put in the negative of it. Right. Yeah, I want you to get the negative of it. But why did it change? I guess it's because it's getting the first element of the thing. Is it? Is that the reason why? Here. Last is it? Oh no, here. Yeah, I am getting the first element map with it. That's why. Okay. 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 Well, if that is the case, let's try and going in. Well, yeah. So, okay, I check this to see if you're doing keyboard and mouse things. That's fine. I'm gonna have to simplify this a little bit, but to make it easier to read. But if dot action element, no range, not yet. That was created or replaced. Axis range. Yeah, and I needed to know what the it's not full. It is not full. Oh, I don't know. I have two of these here. Not full. And object dot input mapper dot context dot range or interchangeable. Yeah, that's. I'm not trying to pass the value in. I'm trying to compare it. Full. Then give me what start binding. Rebinding. Cool. Object dot action element dot need to get the oh yeah, I need to do this. I don't have the target. No. Do I? I guess I do. Oh man, that means I didn't have to make a separate thing for that. Oh well. And then target mapper is object dot input mapper. Return. Okay. Go in here and say axis range equals full by default. And I'll say instead, I'll say range negative. Yeah, I do make, you know, some of the size where it's just like, why? Or like, oh, I could have just done, so many things like that. All right, so now if I say this, no, that did not. This, okay, that definitely did not work. Debug log. Get negative button. Also gonna do, whoops. Log. Object action element axis range. I guess, yeah, I don't want this to actually be an axis range. I want this to be a type, axis type. Dot axis type. Is not normal. There we go. Yeah. We'll see if that actually works. Like that. Okay, yeah, I am definitely getting on the hungry side, but I really want to get this in. Do this and this and no, this, no. Ooh. Something is equal to null right now. Ooh, what? Something equal to null there. Okay, well, this should be type, well, first off. Which is then leading me to believe that this part is not a thing, which is kind of scary. Whoops, not or. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Plus this. Plus that. There we go. Click on the play. This, that, nope. None, and it doesn't exist. Oh, the mapper is idle. I want the previous context though. that's unfortunate. Input mapper. I guess, yeah, the status is not idle. Or it is idle, which means that it's not going to have. That's really unfortunate. The mapper that sent this event. Right. Okay. Right. I mean, I guess, yeah, the only thing that I'm looking for is, hey, is this positive or negative? Or is the previous context that? Oh, man. Private. Or actually, no, I should say it's null. That's a little unfortunate. But hey, we move on. Okay. Click. Nope, still getting a null. Whoops. This is null. Oh, right. Oh, wait, what? This is this here. Okay. Okay. All right. We're making some progress. Go here. Do this, that, nope. Couldn't find lockup. What? Oh. Oh, wait, yeah. It's gonna be in a loop. Well, no, it's not going to be in a loop because the previous context will then say it's negative, which then it wouldn't do this. And then you couldn't find this. Why is it trying to find the lock on for the mouse? Hmm. Couldn't find lock on for mouse. Don't think that the also, yeah, it's still even in. All right, here, why don't I? Okay, well, that's not necessarily working. AEM. Okay, wait. So this is saying it's none. The type is none. What? Oh, right, because there's normal, split. It's not an axis, it's a full axis, and then it's not, yeah. Okay, and then I say, hey, get the axis range. I get the range, or I check to see if I'm supposed to be getting the range, and then I get the negative of it. Right. I don't know if this is actually. I'm just gonna do that, I guess. I'll try this one more, but or one more time, but I definitely am getting to the point where I gotta get some food. Do this, and yeah, I'm just getting a null. And it's asking for the lock on for mouse, which I'm not understanding why it's doing that. Well, let me try and think about this just for a quick sec before I probably call this here. Okay, so if this is basically what I'm trying to do is say, hey, if this is a button and not an axis, so it's not like it's a joystick that you're moving up and down, but you're actually just pressing a button. And I was expecting to get the full range of yeah, I guess I was expecting to get the full range of the button, or the, like, an axis. Then I should be like, oh, hey, I'm getting the negative button. okay. And then I get the, yeah, I get all this stuff. But then it's saying that I'm getting the wrong. It must be, yeah, it must be just getting the wrong thing. Okay. So it's saying like, oh, let me get the mouse's lock on for some reason. Category ID, is that the problem? Yeah. Map category, yeah. That might be part of the issue. Click the play button. Okay, and then I go whoop and whoop. Okay, well, I mean, it's listening. Okay, this is no longer all that useful. Whoops. There we go. Started listening. Okay, and what I'm gonna actually do is get the descriptive name. Well, no, yeah, let's get the descriptive name. Ah, okay. String action name. Oh yeah, this is a really cool track. I remember when Ben worked on this. Action name. Description. It reminds me, I believe I remember saying, oh yeah, the track name is I Like Trees. It's from 2 Hour Track Challenge, season 19. I remember saying that it reminded me of Professor Click. So if you were interested in that track, it very much reminds me of Professor Click's more subdued soundtracks. That's with a K and a Q. So Click. Okay, we do this, and then if range equals full target x, oh, actually no, if e equals negative, action description equals and then I'd say action, no, I guess target action, there we go. Descriptive name, no, positive descriptive name. I guess I don't actually need the positive. Okay, hold on. hold up. If range equals x full action description equals target action. Oh, well, that would actually be easier if I just said axis range. Oh, okay, well, it's not axis range, just range. This would be a lot easier. Well, look at that convenience function. Okay, we're in here. here? One thing that I'd like, that I have been looking into in terms of stream stuff is having somewhere where I can be like, I can show what is actually playing like below me. That would be really nice. It's just I'm playing this on Media Player and not on Spotify. So like all of the plugins that like OBS has that people have made are like for Spotify or YouTube Music or something like that, and not for Media Player. So, you know, I guess is what it is. I'll try and figure something out. Okay, so we go here and then I say, oh, it's not telling me the right thing. And then, okay, yeah, I guess that is actually telling me the right thing. So it does show me, hey, do the left one. Okay. Right, and now it's in, but oh, hold on. Right, I'm giving them okay. I think what I need to do is not have this in here. Input action and not the mapper. Don't show the mapper here. Yeah. Yeah. It is very, very large in a lot of aspects. Okay, I want to do this. So if I just said, hey, by the way, if you want to do this range thing here. Whoops. Full by default. And then we'll do the range. Then we'll do the range. I think this should, oh no. And then we'll do the range. I think this should probably work. Yeah, I think this should work because then it will also include the mouse and the keyboard rather than just the mouse. I love how I said, oh, I'm going to probably stop. And then I'm just like, oh, I'm so close. No. Okay, maybe not. Oh, what? Nope. Hold up. It kind of worked. It kind of worked. Ish. Okay. Yeah. It kind of worked. It didn't actually work, but it'll at least let you stop looking for an input. Okay, so then what does that mean? I guess that means controller. Oh, target controller. Yeah. I do that. Give me more information for the debugs. Okay, so we're here. Okay. Started looking for a keyboard and listening for keyboard and for the mouse. Okay. Started listening for the keyboard and the mouse. And yet, here we are. Left, right. No, I don't think. Yeah, controller map. Controller. Okay. Oh, can I? Oh, it's. Yeah, I guess controller name. Target mapper dot cancel event plus equals cancel event. Debug dot log canceled event plus object dot, I guess, message. I'm just trying to see what actually was the thing that canceled. User cancel. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, it does it twice. What? Hold up. Why is it doing it twice? I don't actually. I don't know about that. Hold up. We'll try 2-string. That. I don't know. Okay. We go in here. We'll play. I do this. We press this. Ooh, why did it do it? Okay. Yeah, but it's also definitely not doing it again. So that is a little bit scary. Okay. I mean, I have been trying to get this to work for a little while here, but I am definitely feeling the need to eat. So I'm still looking, but I should really stop looking and start eating. Okay. All right. Nom nom. Okay. I'm going to call it there. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Let me do my infamous recap of the stream stuff. But yeah, largely what we were able to do was we were able to get in more functionality for the rebinding stuff. So you're able to go in here and click on, well, actually, hold up. Let me actually get it to a spot where it works. So let's just get rid of that. There we go. There. So what we actually were able to do is get it to a spot where I simplified a lot of the code that I wrote from before. I made it so that it's a lot easier to be able to oh, my closing spicy hot take. Well, hey, you're able to rebind a control based off of, like, if it's a mouse, it'll allow you to rebind for both mouse and keyboard. You are able to see both the positive and negative axis of a of something if it is just like the buttons themselves, and then began work on trying to get it so that you can rebind those buttons and stuff, not just see them. But that one didn't quite get as far. I do need to go and eat. I don't know when I'm going to be back. I'm probably going to be back. If I were to guess, it would either be, Thursday, or it would probably be, unfortunately, like Sunday is probably the next time that I'd be back here working on this. I might need to work on this during the workday while I am working on, or like doing my work stuff, because I need to get some of the stuff done within like a timely manner. But we'll see. If that happens, then I'll give an update on here's all the things that I did and stuff. But yeah, thanks everybody again for hanging out and watching. I'm glad that I was able to be the co-working companion thing. That's really nice. And yes, my spicy take for my YouTube short. I don't actually have one. There's not really I need like a topic in order to be like, here's a spicy take. So yeah, I don't really got one. Unless Daniel, you have me queued up for one of those. Okay. Oh wait, I also have this thing still running in the background. I should probably turn that off. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm really hungry. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. You need to. Oh my goodness. Okay, Daniel. I'll talk to everybody later, and I'll end it there. All right, later.